It's not my day at the regular pawns, I guess, but for some reason today was a good day at Queen of Pawns. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. We're starting things a little bit different this week because I got a GameStop package and I figured, well, might as well start the week with that. I picked up two games. They're both new releases and they're both on the inexpensive side. I mostly picked these up because they look interesting. One of them I've actually played quite a bit of and I just wanted a physical copy of it. And yes, I am going to go on probably a rambling session about it. The other one just looks cool. So first we have Foreclosed on the Xbox Series X. It looks cool. It's like a cyberpunky third-person action game, kind of stylized like a comic book. Looks fun. Really cheap. It was like 25 bucks. So I have a feeling this is a game that you're not going to be able to find that often because I doubt it had a huge print run. And it's from kind of a indie publisher. So figured I'd give it a shot. It looks interesting. I'm excited to try it out. And then the other one. And honestly, this is the game that I've been playing the most lately because A, it's really good, and B, it's one of those games where like you can easily just play it for like a little bit, make a little progress, and then come back to it later. And that's completely okay. That's kind of the sort of thing that I kind of need nowadays with everything that I've been going through. So it's nice to just be able to sit down, play for like a couple minutes, and then, you know, do something else and maybe come back to it later. And yes, I do already own a copy of this game, but on a different platform. And I don't regret my decision whatsoever. I have Hades on the Xbox Series X. Now, the reason why I got this, first of all, yes, it is on Game Pass. It's probably not going to be on Game Pass forever. Second of all, I really like the next-gen version. It loads super fast, it's really gorgeous on the Series X, and I want to keep playing it on the Series X long after it gets removed from Game Pass. But I am still going to keep my Switch copy because this is a game that I have a feeling could be really good on the go as well. But at least until I, beat it for the first time, and you're supposed to beat it multiple times, so be prepared for that. But I will keep playing it on the Series X just because that's where I'm making the most progress. And then, that might be a good plane ride game, or maybe I'll decide to do a few runs on the Switch the next time I go on a flight or whatever. So, yep, I have Hades on the Series X. I was going to keep this sealed, at least for a while, but Corey currently doesn't have Game Pass and definitely wants to keep playing this. I'm going to let him play the physical copy so he can keep enjoying the underworld of Hades, which if you haven't played this game, it is very, very good. Highly recommend it. It's awesome. So play Hades. It's awesome. I'm going to play Foreclosed when I get to it. Hopefully not too long. But that's what I started with for this week. See what the rest of the week takes me. Last several weeks that I've come to this pawn shop, did not get the greatest deals. Maybe picked up one or two games at most. Maybe this week is the week that my luck turns around. I'm not counting on it, but we'll see. Let's go check, see what we can find. Okay, so persistence kind of paid off. So I've been going to this pawn shop a lot and pretty much every week. And they've had a number of games I've been interested in, but they're asking for just too high of a price. Again, most of the pawn shops in my area have started looking up prices, which is not ideal. It's much better, obviously, to get a bulk rate or even get a flat rate. But I get it. Games are pretty spiked right now, so it makes sense why pawn shops are looking up prices. It's a shame, though, for collectors just because it makes it harder to get games at good prices. But I did pick up two games, and these are two that I've been looking at for a while. They kept quoting really high prices, and I pointed out to them today that, look, these have been sitting here for a while. I've been interested. I've checked almost every week for like 3-4 weeks how much they're asking for. So they finally came a bit down on their prices, and I scooped them up for good, I think, pretty good deal. So for start off, in this one I got to flip. I think I did okay on it. I don't think I did amazing, but if I can get some bonuses on it, it'll be a pretty decent flip. Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the PS4. Now, last time I checked, this was worth like 18 something. So if I can get some bonuses on it at GameStop, I can get a decent amount of credit back for it. So a little bit of a bump. Obviously, I would have preferred to pay like 10. 15's not terrible. Not ideal, but not terrible. And then this one I got for my collection, and because I got this, now I can flip the other one that I have in my collection. I have the Xbox copy of Overwatch. Now, the reason why I wanted the Xbox copy is because this version is enhanced on the Series X. It runs at 60 FPS, has a bunch of other updates to it. So if I'm gonna play Overwatch again, I'd rather play it on Xbox than PS4. So I have the Xbox copy again, so that means I can flip my PS4 copy to GameStop for a little bit more money. I only paid $8 for Overwatch, which is not terrible. It's more than what it's worth in trade-in, but that's okay. I wanted the Xbox version anyway, and now I can flip the PS4 version and get back almost all my money at GameStop. So there we go, 2 games. Not amazing prices, but you know, sometimes you just gotta take what you can get, and I think I did okay on them. Another week, another trip to Cash America. See if they've got any game deals this week. Let's go. A rare bust at Cash America. They had a couple cool things. The most interesting one was they had this red DualShock 4 controller, which I do need another PS4 controller, so I thought about it, but they wanted $39. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. So, you know, it is what it is. Even though I've never had good luck there, I might actually check Queen of Pawns just to see if there's anything good. You never know. Maybe I'll be surprised. Why not? Let's go in. Let's see. It's starting to rain, and it's been several months since I've been to this pawn shop. Usually their deals are not particularly great, but you know what? Maybe it'll be different this time. Let's go in, see if I can find anything. So I just got out of Queen of Pawns, and I did well. I got a nice stack of games. I paid a little bit more than I would have wanted to normally, but considering everything that I got, I'm pretty happy. It was almost a better deal, but apparently some of the games were misrung up. So I put some of them back just because they weren't worth the value based on what they were asking for. But I picked up a nice stack of games. I'm really going to be bolstering my PS3 collection with these games. So that's pretty nice. I'll show you them when I get back to the bench. But right now I'm going to head over to Value Pawn after picking up some food and see where the rest of the day takes me. All right, one more stop. It's Value Pawn. Had up and down success here, so let's see what I do this time. Nothing today at Value Pawn. They did have some Switch games. They were asking too much. I asked if they were firm on those prices, and they said they were just because they just came out, which I get. It's understandable. I can tell you right now, though, for the 2 that I was looking at, they're not going to get $40 for Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and they're not going to get $30 for Sniper Elite. So I have a hunch those prices will go down, but it'll probably be another month or so before they will. I also asked about Forza Motorsport 6, which has been there over a month. They originally wanted $9. They offered me $750, which just isn't worth it because I was mostly getting it to flip, and it's only worth $8.80, so I'd get maybe $1 extra credit for that. So I'm like, you know, it's not my day at the regular pawns, I guess, but for some reason today was a good day at Queen of Pawns. I don't know. Anyway, I have one more stop to make because I'm actually heading to GameStop, but before that, let's get to the bus stop and I'll do a recap of everything I picked up at Queen of Pawns. All right, as you can see, the weather's been kind of meh all day today. It's been raining on and off. I've avoided most of the bad rainstorms, but who knows when another one might arise. So I'm hoping the bus doesn't take too long. Anyway, Queen of Pawns, not a pawn shop I go to very often. And it's very condensed, so I didn't do any filming in there. They have a lot of games. Most of them are older games that aren't worth a lot of money. And I will tell you, the first few times I went in there, because I've only been in there I think twice, I glanced at most of them and passed because they had a lot of PS3, but at the time I didn't have a PS3, so I thought buying a lot of PS3 games was kind of pointless. That opinion has changed now since I own a PS3, so I can actually play all these games. So I took a look and found quite a few pretty solid titles on PS3 that I was interested in. So I figured, let me just grab a bunch of games and see what sticks. I also grabbed a few Xbox One games and a PS4 game. So originally they quoted me $3 on the PS3 games, which that's fine. That's a solid price for PS3, although they don't have a ton of value, which I looked at, and I'll get to that when we get to the final recap. But still, $3 for a PS3 game, that's very reasonable. And then when it came to the Xbox One game, she originally quoted me $2.99 because I think she mixed them up for Xbox, not Xbox One. So I was pretty stoked about that originally. And then the PS4 game, she originally asked for $8, which it's fine, I guess. It's not a horrible price for it, but it's not amazing. So because the prices were so low, I grabbed a couple extra games. I grabbed another Xbox One game and I grabbed a Wii game just to, you know, pad it out a little bit more since those were pretty good prices. She asked for $5 for the Wii game, which I thought, it's fine. It's not terrible, not great. And then apparently there was some kind of issue when she was ringing me up, and the guy she brought over noticed that she was ringing the Xbox games up as Xbox, not Xbox One. So all of a sudden the price jumped from $3 each to $8 each. So I immediately put back 2 of them, unfortunately. So I did get one of them because it's still a good pickup for the price. I also got 1 PS4 game, 1 Wii game, and 6 PS3 games. So pretty solid stack, I'd say. Paid about $40 for all of them, which again is a little bit more than I like to pay at pawn shops, but considering how much I got, I think I did pretty well. So for starters, and it's funny because this is the second copy of this game that I'm going to be trading in GameStop later today, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Always worth picking up because it always has good value in trading at GameStop if you can find it for the right price. Again, in complete good condition. This one's actually might be in better condition than the one I have, but I already have a copy of it, so that's fine. I paid $8 out of pocket for that one. Not bad. Definitely worth more than $8 in trade-in, so that's a slam dunk win. This one I picked up just because it's not a game I see very often, and I enjoy pinball machines. I think they're fun. So I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's just add something kind of crazy to my collection. Pinball Arcade on the PS4. So this was the only PS4 game that I was like, yeah, I'll pick that up for sure. And they asked for $8. I was hoping for like $5. $5 I think would have been a pretty spot on deal for this one. But you know, even at $8, it's got a lot of pinball machines on it. It looks fun. Again, it's not a game you see super often. So I figured, yeah, why not? I'll have pinball on my PS4. So another $8 game. This was the $5 Wii game, and from here on out, all of these are considered loose because they don't have cover art. They do have cases, but no cover art whatsoever, and they have kind of like labels on the spine, which I'm going to redo eventually. At some point, I don't know quite when, all the games that I don't have cover art for, I want to get a label maker and actually make a proper spine label so I know what game it is, because right now, I have several just empty like boxes on my shelf. I don't know what they are unless I open them up or go by the alphabetical order. So I will get a label maker eventually and label those games, at least until I can find some sort of cover art. But until then, I guess we'll just stick with what we got. So this is the Wii game. And it's a game I've never heard of before, so I was morbidly curious about it. Originally they asked for 15, and I'm like, God, no, I'm not interested in that. And they're like, no, we'll do 5. I'm like, okay, 5's fine. Heavenly Guardian on the Wii. Know nothing about it. Sounded interesting. It's a Wii game. Figured, well, what? Let's just add that to the collection, see how it goes. So these are all PS3 from here on out. The first one, it's funny because I had case for this. I don't know if I still have the case for this. I might actually. I have to look. But if I do have the cover art for this still, I will keep it because I have the game now. Turning Point, Fall of Liberty on the PS3. If you don't know, this is one of those alternate history games where, like, I think it's World War II or one of the big wars where the enemy wins and takes over the U.S. and it's kind of like a foreign dignitaries take over the United States sort of story. I played it when it first came out. It's a fairly generic first-person shooter, but I always liked the atmosphere and I thought it was a cool looking game, so now I have a copy and I can play it on PS3, so that's pretty good. That's the only one that didn't come in an actual PS3 case. The rest of these do, even though they're not in the greatest shape, so I'm going to have to try to clean them up a bit. And like I said, eventually I do want to either get cover art for them or put a label at least on the side so I know what they are. Next up, we have Dark Void on the PS3. Now, I might actually have this game digitally. I'm not 100% sure, but I figured, well, for $3, that's a pretty solid deal to pick up a physical copy of Dark Void on a PS3. Fun little action-adventure game. Next up, and this is a game I did used to own on 360. I don't anymore, and now this is the better version because originally it was exclusive to the 360, and then eventually they did port it to the PS3 in a improved version. We have Overlord Raising Hell. So this is kind of an enhanced version of Overlord that was released on the PS3, which is a fun game. It's kind of an action-adventure mixed with RTS elements where you command minions. You're basically like Sauron from Lord of the Rings, and you command like your henchmen to do your bidding. It's a pretty cool game. Definitely enjoyed the Overlord series when it was big. Obviously, it hasn't been in a while, so, you know, maybe one day it'll come back. So another solid pickup there for the PS3. Next one, and this one is a game that doesn't get talked about much. Of course, everyone's heard of Dead Island and even Dead Island Riptide. It's like sequel. This was a spin-off game that came out and didn't get a lot of press. It actually came out after the Xbox One and PS4 did, only on last gen. But I figured, you know, for $3, I might as well give it a shot, see how it is. We have Escape Dead Island on the PS3. So another nice little addition to the PS3 collection. I am slowly but surely building a pretty decent PS3 collection, I'd say. Next, we have Fracture on the PS3. This is an action-adventure game from LucasArts where you have, like, earth powers. You can, like, control the earth and how it, like, raises and falls and uses that to your tactical advantage. I heard it was pretty decent. Not a game that got, like, amazing reviews, but not bad ones, so take it. And then last but certainly not least, they actually had 2 copies of this, but I only needed 1, so I'm not picking these up to flip. I'm picking them up to add to the collection, so I don't need multiple copies of the same game unless it's worth flipping. Enemy Territory Quake Wars on the PS3. Another cool first-person shooter set in the Quake universe, which they actually just re-released the original Quake on next gen. So I haven't played it yet. I plan on it because it's on Game Pass, but now I have Quake Wars. So there we go. Pretty solid amount of games. Pretty happy with them. Now I'm actually going to head to GameStop to trade in a bunch of games and pick up some stuff. So let's head over there and wrap this trip up. All right, last stop for this game hunt. GameStop. Trading in some stuff, picking up some stuff, completing a pre-order. Who knows what else? Let's go see. All right, it took a little bit longer than I wanted, but that was a big success at GameStop. So I traded in all those games. And one of the things that I wanted to experiment with, and it turns out it did work, is they were running a promo, again, where you can trade towards certain games and it will bump up your trade-in by 20% in addition to your 10% for your pro membership. And the last time I tried it when I was trying to pre-order Madden, it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work, it just didn't. So today I tried it with Rainbow Six Extraction, which is a game I'm planning on buying, although it is a Ubisoft game, so I normally wouldn't, but I put money down on it, and it did bump up my number. I think it went from like 50 to 65, so it bumped it up quite a bit, actually. So I was pretty happy with the results. I got some good stuff. Now, one of the things I picked up, I actually did an online pickup order, which I've never done before at GameStop, so it was the first time I've done it. But the main reason why I did it was, first of all, it was available. And second of all, it's a game I've been wanting for a while that I haven't found for a particularly good price. This was a decent enough price where I figured it was worth the pickup. So I'm like, you know, let's just go for it. We have Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition on the Switch. This is the second time I've owned this game. First time was on the 3DS. Obviously, that's not the optimal way to play it. So now I have it on the Switch. I only paid, I think it was $38 because there was some kind of online deal that was going on. So pretty solid for a Switch game. I'm pretty happy with it. It's first-party Switch game, brand new sealed, so I'm excited to add Xenoblade Chronicles to my collection. So the rest of the stuff that I got is not games. They're game-related, kind of. First thing I did is I full paid my new controller. So on Tuesday, I'm actually going to be picking up my brand new Xbox Series controller It's pretty dope looking, I will say. So I'll show you a full unboxing of that when I get it on Tuesday. But I also, because I had $20 in credit and a $10 reward left over, I'm like, well, I might as well see if there's anything good to pick up. Turns out there was. And again, apparently I'm just getting lucky because these are really hard to find, but they just had them on the shelf. So I'm like, yeah, might as well go for it. The Loftwing Amiibo for Skyward Sword HD. So essentially this amiibo, besides the fact that it looks really cool, it gives you the ability to instantly go back into the sky in the game. So it's actually really helpful. It's weird that Nintendo locked that behind an amiibo, but once I get into actually playing Skyward Sword HD, I now have that, which is going to be really helpful. So pretty excited to find this. And I got it for 10 bucks off because I had a coupon, so that was pretty nice. And then the entire rest of my credit I spent on something for my main channel, but I think people will appreciate them because I've been doing a little bit more of this stuff. Not that I would consider myself a hardcore collector, but I'm a big fan of the series, and since they're, I guess, kind of becoming easier to find, I figured, you know what, let's just dive right in. I picked up 2 booster packs of the brand new Evolving Skies Pokemon cards. So these are brand new. They just came out a couple days ago. I also was able to find one of these, and this is the last one. So it'll be interesting to see if it's any good. But I have a first partner pack. Now what this is it's a pack that includes 3 starter Pokemon cards, oversized cards. And then in addition, it also includes 2 booster packs. So I have 4 booster packs and the oversized cards that I can unbox on the BigCTV channel. So be sure to check that out on my main channel if you want to see me unbox some more Pokemon cards. So solid. I think I did pretty well. I got a Loftwing Amiibo. I got my new controller paid off. I got Xenoblade for a good price. Some Pokemon cards. And I pre-ordered Rainbow Six Extraction for free, essentially, because the credit that I got paid for that and then some. So it's always nice when you can get a free pre-order out of it. So yeah, pretty solid run today. I'm pretty happy with the pickups, but I think I've got one more stop in me for later in the week. So let's go check that out. So I'm actually here at Target. I don't go to Target very often just because it's not like particularly close to me and it's usually more expensive. But I go on occasion because they do have some cool stuff that I don't normally find. And I figured, you know, might as well do a little game hunting, see if they have anything good. And I did find something. It's not a game though, but it's something that I think is worth picking up because they're fairly uncommon. I'm excited to use them out, might as well. The Animal Crossing Sanrio Collaboration Pack. So this is a pack of cards that was only available at Target. It's a crossover between Sanrio, which is the company that makes Hello Kitty, and Animal Crossing. There's only a few of these that exist. I think this is the only like set of them. There's just 6. But you get exclusive villagers and other stuff, which is pretty cool. So I figured, you know what? They have them. Might as well grab them since I'm here. So a nice little random Nintendo accessory / thing to add to my collection for this week's haul of game hunting. So